Hi everyone, and welcome back to the next tutorial series of Spring and Hibernate. So in the last tutorial we have created a controller and we have developed or we have executed the car Kharido web application in order to display the hello world. Right now we'll be proceeding ahead with this application, and in this application we are going to create a model today. After creating a model, we'll try to persist the data over a database. The database that we will be using will be Oracle. Oracle is one of the relational database management system, and for storing the data over the database we'll be using a ORM tool, that is object relational mapping, and the framework that we will be using will be Hibernate. So let's start by creating a package. So in order to create a package, just give here com.techlook.mks.model. Within the model, let's create a class. Let the name of the class be car. Within this class, we'll create some of the attributes. Let's have some comment. We'll have a ID. We'll have a name of the car. We'll have the price of the car. We'll have description. For the car. Along with, we'll also have the brand to which the car belongs. So these are the attributes that we have defined for the car. Let's create the getter and setter methods for this class. So you can click on source, and here you can have generate getters and setters. You can select all and press OK. So this is one of the easiest way to generate getter and setter for all the attributes. Let's have a comment here. Generating getters and setters. After creating getter and setters, we will try to persist this data or persist this model over the database. And as I said, for persisting we'll be using a ORM tool which will be taking care for creating a table and for managing all the things. We can also use JDBC, but if we use JDBC we need to write a lot of queries, and in the future if we want to change any other database, then we have to change the entire model, or there will be a lot of changes that we have to do over the application. So the best way to go or to is to use the ORM tool. If we use the ORM tool, then we need not to bother about the queries. If in future if we are willing to change the database, then we need to do a few changes over the application. It won't affect our controller, our model. So let's add some dependencies to our application or to the Maven so that we can work with Hibernate, which is a ORM tool which will map these class data or the data of car within the database. So for adding the dependency, we can take care of, like, we can use this site Maven repository. Within this Maven repository, just we can write Hibernate core. So yeah, this is the list that we are getting it. So here these are the various versions which are available to us, so we can work with anyone. So I have decided to work with the 4.3.11. So let's copy this and let's add over the pom.xml file. Adding Hibernate dependency. It's always good to use commits so that we can identify. After adding the Hibernate dependency, we need to add few more dependencies like Spring JDBC and the Spring ORM, which are the other modules being provided by the Spring itself. So we can take care, or we can take help of those dependencies within our application in order to create sessions or the data source. So we can do it. So let's add, within this we need to add the group ID, and the group ID, let it be like Spring Framework. After this we need to have the artifact ID. So the artifact ID is spring-jdbc. After it we need to define the version. So let the version be 4.3.4 dot release. I'm using the same version. We can also add one more dependency, that is Spring ORM. Let have group ID, which is org.spring framework. Then we need to add the artifact ID, which is spring-orm, which is object relational mapping. And then we need to define the version, which is 4.3.4 dot release. So after adding the dependencies, we can start our work, that is to persist the data. So for persisting the data, we need to use some entities. Let it be, we need to use the entity annotation, which is being provided by the persistence javax.persistent API, and this entity is going to help us, or it clearly says that the car is an entity or it is a persistent class, and we need to create a table for this. And for creating the table, Hibernate framework will take care of it. If you want any other name apart from this car, then we can use another annotation, that will be table, and you can give some other names like car underscore info. And if you won't provide, or if you won't add this table annotation, then Hibernate itself will take this name of the class as the name of the table. So I want to proceed with the default name. After this, we want to specify that these are the columns, and in order to specify the columns and a primary key within a table, we need to add the annotations like @id, which specifies that this id attribute is one of the primary key. And in order to say that this all are columns, you can specify here @column. Without specifying also, Hibernate will create columns with this name. If you want to give any other name to the columns, then we can use @column, and we can specify here name equals to car name. So this is one of the other way to give or to rename the columns. So let it be that let it be